Okay, so as a follow-up to today's lesson, we're going to do reducing rational functions. Okay, so the instructions here, rational just means a function that is a fraction, right? Rational numbers are numbers that can be written as fractions. Rational functions are functions that can be written as fractions. Same thing. Okay, now when we did division, we saw f of x over g of x. So we need to know how to simplify this. So these are the instructions. Factor the top and bottom, cancel any common factors. Okay, then identify the domain. Now, this is key. The domain is the same as the original function, even if simplified. Okay, so what does that mean? That means find the domain first. Don't even simplify it yet, because the domain stays the same regardless. So let's find the domain of this. Remember, domain, red flag, there's a denominator. All of these have denominators because they are rational functions. Okay, and you put the all real number sign, and then you say, okay, what number is going to make my denominator, my whole denominator, equal to 0? And that would be if x was equal to 0, so x cannot be 0. That is my domain. Regardless of what happens, that is my domain. Then we have to factor this out. So if I factor my numerator, what do I get? Well, I can factor out the greatest common factor, which is 2x. And what do I get? X plus 2 is left. And what do I get here? I have 6x squared. You can't factor this any further. Now, we can simplify this. Okay? Technically speaking, this I can rewrite as, to have a common factor, 2x times 3x, right? 2x times 3x is 6x squared. And then this and this go away. So my simplified expression is going to be x plus 2 over 3x. You cannot, and I repeat, cannot do this. That is illegal. It is so wrong on so many levels. You cannot do it. Okay? So that is your final answer. And this is your domain. Technically the domain still matches here, but sometimes it won't. So let's look at something else. Another problem. So x squared minus 9. X squared minus 9 and x plus 3. Let's find our domain first. My domain, all real numbers, but x cannot equal, what value of x will make my whole denominator 0? Negative 3. Okay, negative 3 plus 3 is 0. And then we have to simplify. So let's simplify this. We're going to factor. X squared plus 9, x squared minus 9 is x plus 3, x minus 3 over x plus 3. That was a difference of squares. I'm going to put this in parentheses so we can see x plus 3 and x plus 3 cancel out, where my final answer is just going to be x minus 3. Even though the denominator was canceled out, right? My domain stays the same. Okay? We will learn about why that is the case when we learn about rational functions in a different chapter. However, for now, you just need to know that the domain of the original function holds true. Okay? Next. Domain. Well, first I'm going to factor it because the factoring of it will help me find the domain. So if I factor this, I'm going to get 2x plus 1 and then x plus 1. If I factor this, I will get x minus 5 and x plus 1. Okay, now what is my domain? My domain is going to be all real numbers, but x cannot equal. What numbers are going to make this 0 is going to be 5 and negative 1. What are my common factors? We cancel these out. So my final simplified expression is going to be 2x plus 1 over x minus 5. And last but not least, this one. So we have, let's find the domain. Domain is going to be all real numbers.